are live. NashvilleLou live. Kind of a weird thing to do this in real time, trying to figure out how low to go with the music. I've done some things with the microphone. Yesterday was an effort in having a better sounding broadcast, and that just didn't happen because of the way I had the filter set up. A little bit of trial and error with it. All right, everything with the stats side seems to be okay, so we're going to go with this, and I'll try not to yell too much, and hopefully it won't peak the microphone too much. Even as it is now, with the background music, I still get paranoid about it. Especially if there's a song that's too loud. I'd rather have it be inaudible than be drowning me out. Episode BCB-006, Blockchain Brawlers, NashvilleLou live. Here we go. Hello, Nemo. Thank you. Likewise. Good luck with the match. I presume you're in the tournament? At some point, I'm going to get a lot better with this setup here as far as my ability to communicate with people during a live stream. Oh, fail. There we go. Just turn everything off and eventually it shows up. So here we are, Blockchain Brawlers. Nearing the end of its open beta release. Available on Steam, free to play. Probably a good idea before I jump into the room. You'll find me in room 1. There is a way to host your own matches. I had no success with that yesterday. I think once the actual full game launches, this will be a lot more robust. But that's just speculative on my part. But this is a strategy game. This is not a wrestling simulator. There are your 6 choices, all available from the drop with the open beta. I don't know what the offerings will be when the actual game launches. It's an interesting thing to be part of the process in a peripheral role. In many ways, just an observer, but also providing feedback of what I like, and there's a lot I like about it, and then a few suggestions along the way. This is a game that's listed at 60% complete. Aren't we playing? Okay, well, cool. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you, Nemo. So I'll use Scotty White-Eye. Other choices, Rusty Klutz, Mike Yellerbelly, Johnny Butterfinger, Colt Tenderfoot, and Barry Greenhorn. And the way this works is just send you into room 1. It will match you up with somebody if and when they're there. And we start off Polish Dog 90. Polish Dog 90, my opponent. 3-4 here. We'll see what they got. Up against a 6, so unless this is a flex, it would be, for me at best, a draw. And I'm just getting those cards out of my hand anyway. Oh, I'd noticed, and I've watched back my past broadcasts and getting them ready to put online. It was a flex. So I would have won the round, but I folded, so that didn't happen. Had a couple of songs in my playlist that supposedly had full clearance to use that showed up as content ID in YouTube. But they acted like it was no big deal as far as anything within YouTube, but it was interesting to see it like that. I'm going to go 7 and 8. 8 is the highest card number you can have in this game. I've got this round 1 because I've got 15 points with the 8 and the 7. They've got a 6. They may think that I'm going for a flex, is where your first card is higher than your second card. Like you're flexing on somebody, trying to make that tough guy first impression. An easy way to think of it. So a 6 and a 6, I win. 15 beats 12. Neither of us were flexing. And neither of us folded. And that round 1 win for Polish Dog, they got the +2 bonus for having a 3 in the winning hand. Goes by the wayside. Tied up at 23. We'll go 2-3 and dump this. Up against a 1. It's tough. That could be like a 1-5 or a 1-6. Too much risk involved. But if it's not, I'll obviously will be kicking myself. Well, oh, they folded as well. Okay, if you both fold, both of your power meters stay where they were, and you go back to the next round. You get an extra card in your hand if you fold, up to 6 total. Against a 4. Again, for 1, we'll see what they got. Then we're going to raise. Let's call it. I think it's a flex. And if I'm right, I get a big boost to my power meter. If not, I only drop back down to 1. And 4-8, so it was not a flex. My power meter goes back to 1. Theirs goes up to 2 with a win. Let's see. Okay, we'll go 6-7. At worst, it would be a draw for me. We'll go with the doubler. They went double as well. It's an 8, so we draw. They deliver 4 points of damage. I only deliver 2, or actually only 1. No, it would be 2 with the doubler. Because we both connected, both of our power meters go back to 1. I trail 21-17. Go 6-8. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. No. Oh no, it is. Never mind. I keep thinking that I would want to have my higher card as my first one, and that's not the case unless you're flexing. So I've got. It's a little risky here. If that's an 8 that they've got, I'm in trouble. They're raising to 3. We'll go for the ride. If they got a 7, it's at least another draw. It was a flex, so I win. Nothing to really lose there as far as the power meter went, because they were at 1. When you're not flexing and your opponent flexes, it doesn't matter about your point total. The non-flexing hand wins. Like right here, a 6-8 would beat me. A 6-7 would be a draw. 6-6 or less, I win. We'll go with 2, because that could be them going for another flex try here. They're going 3. I'll match them, because that's a tripler. That's 6 points I deliver versus they would only be issuing 3 points of damage. And it's a draw, so we both deliver damage. I take 3, but I'll be delivering 6. Here's the distinction. Now, because we both connected on offense in the showdown there, which is when neither side draws, both power meters reset. So back to 1 for both of us. I now lead 14-12. We'll go 4-1. Up against a 2. This could be trouble if it's... You know what? Well, they folded, so I guess it doesn't matter, does it? I'm still getting used... And maybe the final version will have a more pronounced fold thing pop up when the other side does that. Or I could just look. It's right there. It's just at this angle where I'm sitting, that bottom left of my screen is slightly obstructed at times. So I lead 14-10. Power meter's up to 4. In a really good spot here. If I can get them to go in on a tripler, then I'll win the match. But I should have some good offense right here regardless. We'll see. 5. They may fold. I'll play it somewhat safe. Go with a doubler. Try not to scare them off. Fold. Okay, so 4 points of damage delivered. They're down to 6. And I lead 14 to 6. The way it works in blockchain brawlers, you keep going until one of you hits 0. You got points left and your opponent's at 0. At the end of a round, you win. Let's see. A pair of 5s. It's a 4. I don't like the feel of this fold. I was hoping to catch like a 2 or a 3 out there. Easy pushover type round. They come in with a 6, 7 next, but we don't have to do it that way. What do they got? They had a full hand. Come on, can't lock up now. Unfortunately, with this open beta, there have been some times where the game is just locked up, but it hasn't happened recently. There was one match, this was off stream a couple of mornings ago. It's like a best of 3 I had against somebody that happened to be on, and there was a delay of like 30 seconds or so, and then it finally went through, and that was the only time there was any problem of that sort. But again, an open beta, 60% complete. I mean, clear has the net advantage here, but I don't know what happens. I think eventually it'll time you out. So that's a downer if that happens. I've got a monitor here that I'm checking with the stream. The stream's still going, so it's not like I got knocked off the line. Yeah, a game crashed. Yeah. I don't know if I should X out or just let it go ahead and decide for itself. Oh, I think it's a possible rage quit. That would be kind of a weird time though, because I just folded. They had just won the round. But things can happen and knock people offline accidentally. I understand that. Somebody's got to go where there's an emergency or something. I guess a quick explainer for anybody that doesn't know. This is a strategy game. When your first card is higher than your second, it's known as flexing. And you can double your damage meter if you win a round when you're flexing. But you only do that if either your opponent folds or your opponent is also flexing, in which case it would go to how many points you have versus how many points your opponent would have. If neither are flexing, meaning your first card is not higher than your second card, then it comes down to points. So if they had an 8 here, I folded, so it wouldn't have mattered. But with 10 points here, they're sitting on 4. The cards go up to 8. So a 7 would beat me, an 8 would beat me, a 6 would be a draw, 5 or lower, and I would, if that had been an actual normal round, would have gone heads up. Say, I'm going to quit, yeah. Try it again. I think the fast-paced nature of this game really avails it to live streaming. D-Tot in 3, what's going on? All right. So what, 2, 3 out there, we'll see. Just a 1. Both get in there on 1, so let's see. I'm the winner. So it's 1 point, the power meter. Because I won with a 3, it's an additional boost to 2. So instead of going from 1 to 2, I go from 1 to 2 to 4 with the extra points. And that's true if you've got a 1 in your hand or a 3 and you win a round. 6, 7. Up against a 7. Don't like this particularly, but... Feels weird to fold that, but something about that didn't seem right. And that was the right decision. Because I folded, my streak is intact. My power meter, I say streak. My power meter's at 4, theirs is at 2. 4, 5, don't really like this spot. Against a 6, we'll fold. And by folding, I'll get an extra card for my next hand. And that continues in this game up to you get 6 cards in total. So there is strategy to folding, especially early. 6 and 8, again, the right time to fold. And hopefully burning through most of their high cards. Seven and 7. Up against a 5, so I know I've got the round for sure. Put in a doubler, they folded. That was the right play for them because they couldn't win that round. Not with a 5. 4 points of damage. Power meter goes up to 5. So I lead 22 to 20. We'll see. They're going to probably think I'm... Well, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to think here. Let's see. Against a 6. Let's go real big to see if they'll chase or no. If they're in for 1, but they'll go in for 3. They're in for 1. And they're in for 3. So my 7 and 8 beats the 6 and an 8. See the considerable damage there. With a tripler on what was a power meter of 5, a 15-point hit. I lead 22 to 5. 6 points on my power meter. Throw this hand away to see if I can get some higher cards to lock it in. And don't want to squander this power meter being high because it's not over yet. As long as you have at least 1 point on your health bar, you're still in it. Now, I've come back to win from big deficits. I've had it happen against me, live on the stream, no less. So the 1 and the 3, I would have won the hand and the match had I not folded, but decided to fold. We'll go 6, 7. Up against a 1. I've got the victory locked up unless I were to fold, so I won't fold. I'll just get in on 3, and that'll be that. There's the leg drop, and that'll be it for the match. So good game. Couldn't find my mouse there for a second with the confetti flying around. And to reiterate, the awards, prizes you win for getting a victory don't carry over to the actual full game themselves. Just like preseason NFL games, those stats don't count as far as actual season stats go. Similar with this. A demonstration of how it might work when the actual full game is released. Back to it. Room 1. As I understand it, there's going to be a single elimination tournament tomorrow. I've got a dentist appointment early afternoon. Got a crown. Lucky me.
You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability.
But I won't be live streaming those anyway because I wouldn't want to give away anything strategic. I'll record them though, so I might do live commentary unless half of my mouth is numb. It's not like you have NashvilleLou on play-by-play. Kind of freaked me out because there was a misunderstanding on someone's into the Discord as far as the start time of the tournament. I saw 4 p.m. Eastern. I thought, uh-oh. My dentist appointment said 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Nashville time. My dentist is great, but he's not that fast. Nor would I want him to be. All right, gonna cycle through the room. Nobody matched on that one. We'll try again. I'm not sure how many people are online tonight. Nearing the end of the open beta. I believe I read that the tournament's going to be like the preseason finale of sorts. I don't think there's going to be open beta after that tournament. And I'm not sure what their timetable is. I know with a game like this, you want to make sure you have things right and smooth as much as possible. If for some reason I go through this and nobody matches, I can play against the computer. So, I mean, not completely hurting for matches. It's just a lot more fun to play against a real person. At least in my experience. And that makes it even better for live streaming. As long as it's stuff just for fun, you know? I know there are ways that you could have something to air on delay. I know but I mean, if I'm not going to do it live, I'm going to make sure it looks right before I put it online. I mean, it's a video game tournament. It's not March Madness. All right, so it's going to hit 1:30, and we'll be done with this. I'll give it one more try through, and if not, then I'll go and play the computer. Try to avoid that if I can. I mean, it's fine if I got to play the computer. The computer beat me, I think, was the last stream before. So it's not like I will win every time. But the computer does a lot of weird things. And not like in a 4D chess kind of way either. But look, the game's 60% complete. I would rather have an AI that's kind of doofus level and have the game run properly and look great. I'm running this on a high-end computer. I'm not sure for lower-end rigs how anything with the video quality or how that's going to be. And that's a challenge for developers. I mean, you want your game to be able to be played by as many people as possible, but you want it to look good. If you want it to look like a modern new game, but you want people to play, finding that balance, easier said than done. All right, so this is at 1:30, and I'll take on the computer. Actually, real quick, let's take a look at the leaderboards. And at number 8, well, it's a tie for 8th, but I believe this is just the total number of wins. Doesn't take win percentage into account at all, or how many matches a given person has. But this is all going to be reset anyway when the actual full release happens. I'll play as Rusty Klutz, taking on a computer opponent playing as Barry Greenhorn. Okay. Throw a 2-3 out there. I'm just trying to get lower cards out of my hand. You fold the first hand like this, like I plan to do. They got a 1, so you can think about trying it with 2-3, but the computer would throw out like a 1-6 just for no real reason. So you can't trust their strategy to be they're very unpredictable, and that's not in a positive way per se. But in this case, I'm playing it safe. And because I fold, anytime you fold on a hand, you get an extra card on your next draw, and that stays the case for the rest of the match. So much better here with a 7 and an 8. Or I could go 8 and 8. That actually would be more effective, because typically somebody's going to not think you've got the goods, because the only way you can have a non-flex with an 8 is have a second 8. If that makes any sense. You're flexing if you have your first card higher than your second card. Trying to give too much credence to the computer's gameplay choices, because it's not really anything you can learn from other than 16 beats 10, but only 1 point of damage. Or they followed on a tripler, so it was 1 damage on the power meter times 3. They got hit with 3 points. I lead 25 to 22. The clock can get on you if you're trying to start a little bit too much storytelling. Get caught up in it. An 8 would beat me here. We'll go with a 2. I see 2 as the doubler spot. 1, 2, or 3. It's like the multiplier for your power meter. And there's the 4 and the 8. That says the one card that could beat me, and it did. So with a 2 multiplier on the 1 power meter, it's 2 points of damage to me. I still lead 23 to 21, but that resets my power meter here. Here's the spot to flex. Go with a 7-3, or nah. Sometimes you can overthink it. I guess, okay, the only way they beat me if that's an 8. Otherwise, I've got the flex, so it's double, plus I get 2 points extra for my power meter for the next turn if I'm victorious here, because the 3 would carry over an additional 2 points. You get a bonus for a 3 or a 1. It was a flex. I'm correct. A non-flexing hand always beats a flexing hand. So my 10 beats the 14 because it was a flex. With a doubler, it's 2 points of damage. But with that 3 being played, win with a 3 or a 1, you get 2 points boosted to your meter. I'll go with 1 and 1 here. I'll just fold. It's the right play. I'll get an extra card as well for the next hand. I'll get me to 5. You get a max of 6. So it's a right move there. But for them, nice timing to get a 3 and a 3. Because it's 2 points per card you're getting boosted. Look at them up to a 6 on that power meter. That's how fast they can turn around. That's the value of a well-timed flex. Okay, they can't beat me here because at most they'd have 13. I've got 14. Computer folded. And that would have been a nice spot to go with a 4-3. They folded, so I would have had extra 2 points to go on top of it. Nevertheless, I'm up to 5 now on my power meter. Theirs is at 6. I lead 22 to 16. We're at a 1-3 against a 2. Not the best, because they could be thinking the same thing, only that's 2 and a 3 against a 1 and a 3. They would win the hand. That would break my meter. They're at 6, so that's going to be some damage coming my way, but I'm not going to even mess with it. I've got a 6, and I'll have 3 more cards coming into my hand after this one, after this round. Wait, do they fold? After all that? I'll let you yammering? Okay. All right, barely got that off in time. 4 against a 2. Just going to fold. And I hate to just give up 6 points like that, but as you can see, that was the right move, given the cards. I mean, the only way that would have won for me would have been if they had a 2-1, because that would have been a flex. Otherwise, a non-flexing hand always beats a flexing hand. Still don't like this right here, but kind of stuck with it. So I can take another round of a single shot. This could be a flex. I may regret this, but we'll see. They folded as well. They're trying to protect their power meter just like I'm trying to protect mine. Theirs at 7, mine's at 5. We both fold. And we go on to the next round. Go 6-8. Got this one for sure. Just a matter of how far the computer is willing to chase. I'll get him down to 1 if I get the tripler. It's a 1. It's a tripler. So that multiplier. Tripler there, make it 15. They'll be down to 1 point. Yep, 1 point of health. And their power meter goes back to 1. I lead 16 to 1. And just to be safe, we'll drop a 3-4 to get some extra room. Try and get a better card to pair with a 6. And that could be an 8 and an 8. It's not worth the risk. It was a flex. So it's double the damage. But only with 1 on their power meter, that's okay. 2 points of damage. They're at 2 on their power meter. I'm at 6. I lead 14 to 1. We'll go with a pair of 6s here and see if this will close it out. Ooh. That's a pair of 8s. They got me. Otherwise, it's the match for me. And they folded, which you would never do in this situation. If you've got 5 points and your opponent's got 6, the only way that you fold and live on is if your opponent also folds. So your winner is Rusty Klutz. We'll go back to room 1. See if anybody's in here ready to play. NashvilleLou Live. Blockchain Brawlers. Open beta on Steam. This is a Web3 game in development, but this is free to play. No blockchain wallets needed. See if anybody's out there wanting to play. If not, that's fine. Another couple of rounds against the computer. I'll go at least an hour with this. Already 36 plus minutes in. With the intro music. It's been an ongoing process to get the microphone to sound the way that I want it to sound on the live broadcast. It's either too quiet, gets drowned out by the background music. It's trying to cut out too much noise so it clips my voice constantly. Peaking the microphone, whatever. But I think I finally got it where it'll be decent enough to make me happy. We'll see. So nobody matching me here in room 1. We'll give it one more spin through the room because it kicks you out after 90 seconds for whatever reason. But again, at its crux, Blockchain Brawlers. It's not a wrestling game per se. It's a great strategy game. And here we go. D-Tot in 3 again. Here we go. Uh-oh. Try this again. Back to the menu, back to room 1. We'll see if we can reconnect. And again, to reiterate, this game is listed at being about 60% complete, so make sure people understand this is not the final product. Here we go, super cool name 4-3. All right. Oh, ACG. All right. Five and 5. Thinking they might be going for an early 1 or 3. This could be like a 7 and 7 or 7 and 8. You know what? They scared me off of it. I'll fold to get the extra card for the next round. Let's see what they got. It was a flex, so I should not have folded. On a well-timed flex, it was relatively safe. If I had tried to flex like a 5-3 or 5-1, they would have beaten me on account of having 13 points for the two cards combined. Against a 6. Fold and get the extra card. Another flex. Wow. Pair of flexes to start off. A 25-19 lead. Their power meter now up to 3. Go for a flex here. 5-3. Up against a 7. I don't know. Because that's a 7-3. That's also a flex, but they would beat me. I'm going to fold. Well, third flex in a row and a 3 card. You see why I didn't call there. Because in this case, it would have been a mistake because we both flexed and they would have had me on points. So ACG, 25-13. See if I can fight back into it. Up against a 6. A 6-8 would beat me. Let's see what they got. There it is, 6-8. 25-1. Power meter at 1. There's at 7. Well, I can at least win this next round, so I won't get completely skunked. They folded. With that streak being as it was, I guess the streak doesn't matter. I got 1 point. So, well, I got 1 point of damage delivered. So at least there's that. 24-1. That was a solid strategy, though, Nemo. I got to say, 3 in a row like that out of the gate, you wouldn't think somebody would do that necessarily, which makes it all the more powerful when they pull it off. And the problem is, if they've got anything halfway decent, they'll call knowing that they can stick around for another round. I can't. Put in for the multiplier on 3. But I'm not counting on it. Yep. Pretty one-sided win there for ACG, huh? 24-0. Get relegated. I get uninvited from the tournament. Lose my contender status. You got to change your strategy at some point, though. Otherwise, you get predictable, especially if you're live streaming it. And there are some matches where you're just not going to have the cards, and there are others where you're going to make those right decisions, 1 or 2 pivotal moments. Especially when you both have your power meters high. There we go. It said super cool name 4-3 before, then it turned into ACG and it did it again. So I'm not sure what the game, why it does it that way. 6-7's a nice start against a 4, so I've got this one at least. They may fold 4 against a 6. You see that a lot. And that's often the best play because of that. Would have been a nice time to have a 3 or a 1 out there on a flex, but that's hindsight, right? Okay, if ACG's also live streaming, great. Go back and compare and contrast. Go for a flex 6 and 1 up against a 1, so this is not the best time for me to get this, but we'll show some strength just to see if that'll. It folded, yep. Didn't matter with the 3. With the triplers, it turned out. So I got the flex. And I got the 1 card. So the flex doubled it 2 to 4. The 1 being used in victory, you get 2 points if you've got a 1 card or a 3 card in your hand and you win a match. This would be a good time to fold with a pair of 2s. Let's see. What do they have? 3 and a 7. So it was the right move to fold. It was a nice play by ACG. With that 3 card at boost, you see instead of being up to 2, it's up to 4 for their power meter. Mine's at 5. I lead 24 to 20. 6 and 6. Up against a 2, so I've got this round for sure. Doesn't matter if they chase. If they get in on it at all. Nope. But now strategically, had I had a 6 and a 5 there as a flex, that would have been a nice time for us. It would have doubled my power meter of 5 on this particular strike. But problem is, if you're wrong on that, you can lose a lot of points in a hurry and break your power meter in the process. All right, we'll go. What a 1-5. Let's see what they got. Up against a 5. Fold here. That way I'll get the extra card in my hand for the next round. If they had a 5 or higher, it was clearly the best move. Yep. 5 and an 8. 4 points of damage. My lead is trimmed down to 20 to 15. Their power meter goes to 5. Mine's at 6. Go with a pair of 7s here. Should be pretty strong. See? Just a 3. They'll probably fold. We'll see. Folded. 6 points of damage to them, so they drop to 9. I'll have an 11-point lead. My power meter goes to 7. Theirs is at 5. I lead 20 to 9. Four, 5. Don't quite feel it on this one. They've got a 6 or higher, and they've got me here, and they break my meter. It was a flex. So their 5 power meter gets doubled. And suddenly my big lead's down to 1, 10 to 9. Six and 6. See what you got. Probably a 7 or an 8. In that case, you win. And it is 6 and a 7. They're going to win. Play again. All right, so I win that 15-2. Well, they folded, so whatever. So 1 point lead. Power meter goes to 2. So I've got this round for sure. Probably going to fold here. Nope, they called. Went in for a doubler, so I've got this one. Multiplier of 2 on my power meter of 2 is a 4-point shot. I lead 25. Oh, this is Polish Dog 90 I'm playing. Okay. How did that? That's odd. So at worst for me here is to be a draw for this round. I got 13. They got a 5. The highest they can have is an 8. They're going to... They need to make this more clear when somebody's got a higher bid than you got here. They probably got an 8. Yeah. So it's a draw. We both connect on offense. Works to their advantage in some ways because it resets my meter, but not before I deliver a shot of 9. So... kind of a mixed result. More damage delivered, but the meter for me back down to 1. Theirs was already down there. 22-11. Go to 1-4. We'll fold. I need some more cards. Get that extra card in my hand for folding. They went in deep with that. They may have something pretty substantial. Nope, it's a flex. So really nice time for a flex there, huh? More important, the 3 and the 1. The flex only doubles it. That's kind of immaterial, but it's getting like getting 2 points from your 3 and 2 points from your 1. So instead of going from 1 to 2 in the power meter, they go from 1 to 6. A flex here, 6 and a 1. Going heavy on it. See. Nope. That was a bad idea. All the way down to 2 points on my health bar. 11-2. With a 5-6. Don't have much of a choice here. If that's another 8, they got me beaten. Otherwise, I break their streak and they'll be down to 8 points on their health meter. They had the nuts. I figured as much. They were sitting back. So I don't know who I'm fighting match to match, apparently. The name seems... Maybe it was just the name was still in there from before. I don't know. This is an open beta after all. All right, well, good game. See if I can get a win here, huh? All right, so waiting now in room 1. Make sure my broadcasting computer is functioning properly. This is NashvilleLou Live. I'm Lou Pickney, playing Blockchain Brawlers, the new game in open beta on Steam. Looks like ACG is my opponent for this match. Here we go. A pair of threes. You got a three. Fold. This could be the 3-1 or something. That's like what they got me with before. (25-23) lead. And again, if you can win, if you got a 3 and a 1, especially like they had, that's a pretty nice spot to be in. Let's see. I'm hoping that they're flexing here. That's a 6, 7, or 8, and they'll have me for this round. And they'll be in a really advantageous spot, and they got it. 6, 7. Down to 5 points. You see how fast this can go. Yeah, it is. That's a powerful. The 3-1 is, no doubt. But the problem is I can't do that here, though, because they have a certain advantage. Dig. 5, 6. So we'll. Doesn't matter if it's got a multiplier or not. If they win, they got me. They folded. So at least hit them for 1 point. I'll get completely skunked. Same token, they don't want me to bust up their meter. So I'll go 6-3 here. We're in anyway. So if I go for a multiplier 3 on their 7 power meter, whatever. Fold. Got the flex. So with the flex, that's double of my power meter. Winning with a 3 in my hand, that's an extra 2 for the next round. So I'm not out of it. I mean, you're never out of it in this game until you hit 0 and the round's over and your opponent's got at least 1 point left. I've seen some wild swings. It's enough so somebody shouldn't never rage quit. I mean, you're going to have bad beats or whatever. It's a game. Find more creative outlets for your anger, right? But, you know, in the heat of the moment, easy to get drawn into it. So I'll have this round. And there'll be a 5-point. You see that power meter starts to add up as well. 5 points. That'll knock their lead down to 15-5. The problem is I know they're just waiting over here for... They folded, left 6 cards. They're waiting for one of those just punch in the mouth kind of hands. Unless I get lucky here, I'm not going to have any way to defend myself. Yeah, that was not me getting lucky. 4-6, got to go with it. I mean, they're sitting on... Well, no, they got 4 cards, so it's not... Let's go with it. Let's see what they do. They're probably like a 7 here or something. They'll be dead. They just had too much of an advantage. Yeah. So they got the win. And there's 15 to nothing. They end up winning. All right, back to the menu. Back to room 1. Open beta of Blockchain Brawlers, now available on Steam. NashvilleLou Live. Very late Nashville time on this September 27th, 2022. For most of the rest of the world, it's already the 28th. Hesitate to stop to take a drink of water, so I'm going to pause or mute my microphone and then hope that somebody doesn't join, because like there's very little time from the time it matches you up to the time it gets you started. So hang on. We'll let it cycle through the room here. This time I'll try it again. If that doesn't match up with anybody, I'll go back against a human opponent. Just at an hour now. I want to get at least one more match in. We'll get interesting in a single elimination tournament. I mean, you don't get the cards your way in a given hand, you can be in a tough spot. Put some people's game playing skills to the test. If you've seen anything on this stream is that you can do a lot of damage with a 3-1. Speaking of the 3-1, here's ACG. Up against the 3, they're throwing that in the trash. No, I don't want to fold. No, no, no. They're probably going to fold. Look at the extra card. Or maybe it's another 3-1. That would have been a rib. I guess I won't know unless it's on their stream. So 1 point of damage. My meter goes to 2. I lead 25 to 24. 7 and 7 against a 5. We'll go with a multiplier of 3. So my 2's going to be multiplied by 3 to go to 6 points of damage on them. So they're going to drop down to 18 points. No matter what they have, because you can't have higher than an 8. And thus their highest score would be a 13, which is what happened. I beat them with my 14. $25 to 18. Power meter at 3 for me, 1 for my opponent. Okay, let's not do that. Go ahead and fold. I mean, it's a lot that could go wrong against a 4. That was a flex. I would have lost the hand because of only having 4 points compared with their 6. So folding was the right move. Their flex knocks a couple of points off of me. 23 to 18 the lead. We're about a 3-1 again. They're raising to 3. Okay. So I folded, and that was the right moves. They had a 3-7. With the fold, I get an extra card for my next hand, which is going to be kind of nice. Went with a 7-8 against the 3. They were just throwing their hand away, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's a fold. So 3 points of damage will drop them to 15. My lead becomes 6. 21 to 15, but their power meter is intact. So you have to protect that in this game at all costs. Or at least know the opportune times when to take a chance. Get rid of these pair of 2s here. They're throwing out a 3. For all I know, it's a 3-1. Ha ha ha. But, you know, if that is, and so be it. We both fold. They're going in. I mean, there's a lot that could beat me here. So it didn't make sense for me to stick around against it. Pair of 3s. 5 damage. But the right move was folding. If it's 7 sitting there, we'll see what shows up for this next hand. All right. They've got a 10, so they're holding back. They're waiting. This could be one of those rounds they just dump a hand. Yeah. Oh, almost went like a 2-1 there, but almost doesn't quite count, does it? It's a fold, of course. So, but I know they're sitting there ready to just punch me in the face with the right hand. Let's see what they do if I throw an 8 out there. If this goes to it, oh, they're throwing out a 3. They're going to fold, I'm betting. Maybe not. They see I've got an 8. They got to at least think about it. They folded. They didn't even get to see that I had the 8. Damage is down to 6, but their meter is at 10. They've been waiting. They got cards sitting there. They're waiting. What I'm going to watch out for is like if you got a 7-6 where there's a flex, because that 10 turns into a 20, and 20 would beat me outright. I don't know if we've reached that point. We may have. Up against an 8, they probably have the goods here, but they can't flex. Oh, they could. Actually, this could be a flex. Oh, decisions. Actually, the only way they beat me this hand is if that's a second 8. So I've been going for the big win here. I'm hoping that was an 8-7. They were going for the knockout kill shot. What I got? If it was an 8, they got me. 8. Like I said, I knew they were waiting up for something, but good game. Beating up tonight. Crazy 8s, yeah. You can tell the game's got a rapid pace to it. Been trying, I'm sure it's been a bit superfluous. I keep emphasizing the same points over and over, but there's some basic principles to the game, and once you understand them, at the same point, I could put together pretty easily a simple how to play video, but the developers are still working on it, and I don't know what they're going to change. And so I'm going to wait on that. I mean, if somebody wants to know how to play, there's hours of gameplay online. They can go take a look. Not just for me, but from other people as well. Okay, so no matches here in room 1. We'll give it one more spin through. This doesn't work. I'll play the computer one more time. We'll call it a night. Blockchain Brawlers is published by Tyranno Studios. Recently renamed Wax Studios. My anticipation is that Blockchain Brawlers is going to be the entryway for a lot of people into Web3 gaming. They either didn't understand it or got spooked into thinking lies about certain genres of digital items. The same people that will pay over and over and over again to WWE to unlock the characters from their DLC, from their yearly cash grab video games. It was interesting to learn that the publishers with this had talks with WWE, and it didn't work out because apparently WWE wanted a sizable amount of money. Oh, here we go. ACG. Back again. But if this was a WWE game, I wouldn't be here. Put it like that. All right. With a pair of sixes. Just a 5. They folded. Not a bad open to go 5-3, 5-1. It's a flex, and you get the 3 or 1 card in there if you can convince your opponent to fold. Out of the gate, you don't have many options. You've got 3 cards total, and you got to use 2 of them, so you can't just try and stockpile too much. It's an easy enough decision here, I think. Well, that was a flex, so that was the wrong decision to fold. There's only 2 points of damage. The more difficult thing for me is that with them winning with a 3 in their hand, go 7-8 here, they get an extra 2 points to their power meter. This is going to be just a throwaway hand for them. What about a 3? See what they got. I lead 23-22. Power meter is at 4. Mine's at 3. Not quite sure here. They went in at 1. Well, they called me on the multiplier to 2. They folded. So it's nice for me winning with a 3 in my hand. I'll get 2 added to my power meter after the round. So only 3 damage, but again, this is the important part here, that number underneath your icon. That's what you got to look for. So it goes to 6. It would have gone to just 4, but because I won with a 3, if you win with a 3 or a 1, you get 2 points. If you win with both of them in your hand at the same time, you get 4 points to your meter for the next time. 5, 6, I don't really like this here. Probably should have thrown low, but too late. Up against a 5. We'll go with a 2 multiplier. They folded. So 6 points of damage. They protect their power meter at 4. Mine will go up to 7. 23-13. Had the lead on ACG. Against a 7. We'll protect that power meter and just fold here. So I call this, and that's, I mean, a lot could go wrong. They didn't fold, and they had a pair of 7s. Because I folded, I get an extra card for my next hand. And that becomes a factor. Just because you got the lead doesn't mean you have the edge. 19-13, I have the lead. Power meter at 7, theirs is at 5. Got a pair of 5s. This might be a high 6 or a 7 here. Okay, what is this business? Come on. Come on, don't lock up on me now. Myself checking my secondary device to make sure the stream was still live. It is, but finally didn't have as much luck on their flexing efforts. A lot of those folds, it's hard to know what they had for sure. Because if you're sitting there with a 5-3 and you fold, I never see that 3 if I'm your opponent. For all I know, you're sitting on 5-6 and you think, well, too risky if they've got 5-7, 5-8. Meanwhile, it's 5-3 there, you win the round that way. So, I mean, there are layers to this, levels of nuance. It's new enough where it's not like every strategy's been thought through 100 times over. Okay, I think this is just locked up. I'll wait for them to give me the official word, and I'll just go back to the menu. I lost to whatever. Let's see. Anybody else in room 1? ACG still in there? Keep thinking ACH. I'll let this run through the 90 seconds. And here we go. Probably ACG again. Unknown player. There it is. ACG. Okay. Last round. 5-1. Not last round. First round. Folded. I won with a flex, so it's a doubling of my power meter to 2, plus I get an extra 2 points added to my power meter for the next round. There's a flex. Flex doubles your power meter. Winning with a 1 or a 3 in your hand gives you an extra 2 points to your meter. So instead of moving up to 2 from 1, I move up to 4 with those additional 2 points. 25, 23. Drop a pair of 3s here. We'll see what they got. I'll probably fold. Go ahead and get out of this. And they're going with a 3 multiplier. It's 4-7. So I made the right move by folding. My power meter stays intact at 4. Then moves to 2. Pair of 2s up against a 6. Let's throw this in the waste bin. By folding, get that extra card for the next round. That was the right play. They had a 6-7. So a big differential between the hands, but only 2 points of damage delivered that round. They lead 23-22. Flex here with a 6-3 against a 5. They folded. Nice time to flex. That doubles to an 8. Plus I get an additional 2 points to my power meter for the next move, or for the next round. You have to play it loose like that sometimes. I now lead 22-15. So at a 4 and a 5. They've got a 4. I'll fold. So I'll have an additional 3 cards going in my deck for the next hand. This might be a flex by them. That's fine. Nope, it's outright a win. So 3 points of damage. And their meter moves up to 4. Mine still at 7. I lead 19-15. Eight and 8. So I've got, unless they've got an 8 there. Oh, this could be trouble for them. We'll put in a multiplier of 3. And they're going in with a 7. Made the right move there. by folding. Yes, I deliver 7 points of damage, but they still have 8 remaining on their health meter. My power meter goes to 8 at this point, now leading 19 to 8. We'll go ahead and fold this. 1 to 2 against a 5. And I'll take the 4 points of damage. Maybe more if it's a flex, but if it's a flex, it's only 8 points total delivered, as opposed to 4. So it's just an outright win. 4 points of damage. Their power meter goes to 5. Mine stays at 8. I lead 15 to 8. I've got an 8 in my hand already. 2 cards coming in. Hope I get better than a 5. I don't, so we'll go 5-8 and see if we can get something here. Up against a 4, they can't beat me. And I'm going to win the match on this round. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. They've played very well tonight. But in this case, I caught some breaks. That's how you do it. 13 beats the 12. It was not a bad idea for them to go in on it there. 4 and 8. Pretty strong against a 5. I had the one other card that could beat them with an 8. And that's it for the match. Oh, it said that ACG won as well on that one that locked up. I'm not sure why I did that. All right, well, good game. It's fun playing, live streaming. Nemo, it's fun talking with you. All right, so that's going to do it for me for this live stream. Next up for me, I think, is that tournament that's going on tomorrow. I'll record at least my opening round game. If I'm fortunate enough to win, I'll record anything after that. I won't stream it live. But that should be fun, and I'll share that with everyone when I can. So that's it for this broadcast. Thanks for watching. NashvilleLou Live. Playing Blockchain Brawlers. Open beta. See you next time.